Hey everybody, I'm a working photographer with clients on a weekly basis, and I want to let you all know that you do not need the flagship cameras to generate good results. In fact, there are cameras that are less than $500 that can have you earning a good amount of money on a weekly basis. Stay tuned. So I know it's been a while since I've made an update video following up to the X-T1 Fujifilm that I recommended to all beginner photographers. That Fujifilm X-T1, surprisingly, it's a lot harder to find nowadays. And even before I did the research, I always knew that the X-T1 was a great camera, mainly because I used to own the X-E2, which shares the same sensor. This video is not going to be about Fujifilm. It's actually going to be about a different brand. Hint, you can probably see the box over here. All right, full disclosure, I'm not doing an unboxing video. I just want to show you guys how good of a condition I got this camera for. It's the Olympus EM1 Mark II. And check this out. Even the box is in minty, like new condition. I got it from eBay, straight from Japan. And before I dive in and explain to you all why I got this camera, I just want to show you, like, even as you can see here, it came with this nice booklet, double batteries, a few different accessories, and all in minty, like new condition. In fact, there was only about 2,000 actuations on this camera. So let's bring the camera over and show you the actual camera. Here it is, the Olympus EM1 Mark II. We got a little lens hood, but there you can see it's a micro four third camera. And you're probably thinking, a micro four third camera for professional use? Hear me out. First of all, look at the quality. It's in minty, like new condition. You got the swivel monitor. Look at the dials. The excellent thing about this camera is the fact that you can really customize the buttons and the dials a lot like a Fujifilm camera. And this is built like a tank. I think this is built far superior to any Fujifilm camera that I've held. Full magnesium, very well weather sealed. As far as I would say, my main camera, which is a full frame Canon R6 Mark II, although has a lot of magnesium parts, it still feels a bit plasticky compared to this. I mean, this is just built like a tank. Look at all these buttons, even like down here. You can program them to be whatever you want. So why a micro four third system? Olympus, a brand that is not that common among professionals. Usually people are trying to go for the top three brands, Canon, Nikon, and Sony. And I've owned all of those brands, but this camera is under the radar. You can still get this for less than $500 easily as of now, in very good condition. I got this like brand new. I mean, this only had 2,000 actuations. And I'm going to be sharing the images here just so you can get a sense of the quality that I've been able to generate with this. But this has been my backup, my secondary camera, and I ended up using it as my primary camera for a fashion shoot. I've ended up using it for some portraits. It well then paid beyond what this camera is worth. We have a little dinky 45mm 1.8 lens, which is equivalent to a 90mm. It's a portrait lens. There's another lens that I own, which is a 75mm 1.8, which is supposed to be the sharpest micro four third lens, or at least the sharpest Olympus lens. And that's what I really want to emphasize on is ecosystem. You can get really outstanding lenses for an affordable price. They're compact, they're not that large because the sensor is smaller, the lenses are small as well. The camera body itself is not that big. Look, yes, this is a bit bigger than a Fujifilm X100, but I would say this is more along the lines of a Fujifilm X Pro 2 size, with a little bigger because of the grip, but it gives me that same feel. I used to own a Fujifilm X Pro 2. It was my favorite camera of all time, but good luck finding that for an affordable price. You can get this camera for less than $500, and it's been outstanding. It has dual memory card slots, and I love that. I love that feature. For me, that's very important, just to have that peace of mind that If anything happens with your primary memory card, at least you have a backup in the second one. Video quality is also outstanding. I'm very surprised with the video quality. It shoots in 4K, didn't overheat. I've done long recordings with this. I don't want to focus too much on the video, but the video in general is good. But what makes this more enticing than the XT1 that I recommended earlier is the fact that the autofocus system on this camera is really good. I think the AF system of this camera competes with the most recent Fujifilm cameras, probably even better, because as some of you may know, Fujifilm with their latest firmware has really dropped the ball with AF performance. But Olympus, they turned this into comparable to the next model that came after this, which is the Mark III. The Mark II has a lot of those features straight from the firmware update. So there's so much value behind this camera, and image quality, despite being a micro four thirds sensor, I cannot distinguish much of a difference in the ISO performance. I think the images are very sharp because the lenses are outstanding in this system, and the color science of Olympus is pretty good. I think it's comparable to the Canon system. The dynamic range has been really good for me as well. And overall, I mean, it's an amazing camera. And the idea behind doing this video is just to inspire you all that you really don't need to be spending a ton of money to get a good camera. You can get started. This is aimed at beginner photographers or someone who's really starting to become professional. I would recommend that you invest in the system itself, like getting good lenses, getting a good lighting system, and maybe not getting the best camera or getting a flagship camera. I mean, this used to be a flagship camera back in the days. Get a flagship camera from 5 years ago. That's the best way to invest, in my opinion, if you're just starting out. I can't recommend this enough. I think the XT1 was my initial recommendation of about a year or two ago, but this is a follow-up video. If you haven't seen that XT1 video, look down below. But this is the camera that I recommend you all getting as of, let's say, 2025. I hope this video brought you guys some value, and hopefully it helps you with your decision making of your next purchase. This camera has taken some of my best photos, and if you want to see them, click the link below to see my Instagram. You'll see some of the client work that I've done. Not all the images are with this camera, but there are many shot with this. If you like what I'm doing, make sure to hit the like button and share among your friends and family. And also, if you could subscribe, that will, if I see a substantial amount of subscribers, then I know I'm doing the right thing with these videos, and I will start bringing to attention under the radar tech, camera gear, and equipment that maybe some of the big YouTubers are not talking about. And look, my value proposition is that I want to make sure you guys get gear that is practical and will earn you good money and a good basis just to start off. You could always get the highest end flagship full frame or medium format camera in the future, but I think for starting out, something like this can really do an outstanding job. Anyways, take care.